Hi guys, happy 2019, happy New Year's. Today I'm going to be talking about top movies of 2018, and that includes top great movies, top good movies, and top, I wouldn't say worst, and I'll explain that later, but I would probably say my top disappointing movies. I don't want to talk about top worst movies because I do appreciate bad movies. Like Chris Stuckman has said in his video, and I pretty much agree with him because that's what I think and that's what I've always thought. It just feels really weird to watch videos of people talk about movies that they hate. A lot of the videos that people make when they're talking about movies that they don't like or they didn't enjoy end up just showing them nitpicking every single little thing. I don't have any rejections to people not liking a movie. I respect that. I know everyone has different tastes and they like different things. And if you didn't enjoy a movie, I would rather watch a video of you talking about what you didn't like and what could have been better. And based on my experience at least, I've seen a lot of videos of people just talking about movies that they didn't enjoy, and the rest of the video is them honestly just complaining. And I get it. Negative review videos on movies, even TV shows or anything actually, they serve a purpose. People watch reviews to see and judge whether or not they're going to watch or participate in it. That's the reason why I agree with Chris Stuckman and why I admire him so much, because he's truly about passion in movies. Videos that talk about the worst movies or worst anything, it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't serve a purpose, because the whole point of that video basically is just a bunch of videos of people complaining. That's the reason why for my video, instead of naming the top worst movies, I'm just going to talk about the top disappointing movies. I think that's the better word to put for it. Disappointing is not as harsh, but there were some bad movies that I actually enjoy watching. It's entertaining to watch. That's the reason why I don't really like the word worst, because worst seems really harsh of a word. Sorry, I am a little late to the party because it's one day after New Year's, but I don't believe it's late to talk about the top movies of 2018, at least not yet. So, without further ado, here's my top movies of 2018. Before I begin, I would just like to point out two things. These are just my opinions, and I know, a lot of you should already know that, and a lot of you do know that, but based on what I've seen online, there's always someone complaining that a movie did not make it on the list. The movies that I chose on my list are the movies that I personally chose. Another thing that I'd like to point out is this is a list, and honestly, there are just so many movies that I enjoyed and loved that I could not put on the list. Why? Because that's the whole fun part of making lists. Why else would people make top 10 movies or top 5 movies? That's just the whole point. I love movies, and honestly, the movies that I did not include on my list, I wish are on my list, but I still love them. So to start from number 5, it's none other than Won't You Be My Neighbor? God, this is one of the most emotional documentaries I've seen 2018, and don't be scared of the word documentary. It's about Fred Rogers, and for those of you who don't know who that is, well, you're just gonna have to watch it, won't you? Okay, anyways, but no, really. This documentary talks about Fred Rogers and the legacy that he's left behind. Fred Rogers is an American TV personality who's known for just being an overall loving and kind human being. He is also well known for being a puppeteer and the host of a show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Number 4 is a movie made by a favorite studio of mine, A24, called 8th Grade. This is a coming-of-age film that follows the life of an 8th grader trying to navigate her life through middle school, and she also happens to be a vlogger, which was cute. This movie is actually really touching to me, and I wish I had this kind of movie when I was in 8th grade. Number 3 would have to be a sci-fi thriller fantasy film called Upgrade, starring Tom Hardy's doppelganger, Logan Marshall Green. This is a great action film and details on subject matters such as revenge and artificial intelligence. Number 2 is a romance drama called A Star is Born, starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. This film, oh my gosh, got me feeling all sorts of emotions. And the soundtrack is incredible that I bought the CD the next day and listened to it non-stop. Okay, the moment you guys have been waiting for. My number 1 pick is Hereditary. Not only is this film one of those rare horror films that is masterfully crafted, but the acting is amazing. All I know is that Toni Collette better get an Oscar nomination. At least